I just closed on the house that I'm living in now last night to the new owners. And so now I was telling Dave, now I'm a renter in my own house. So it's like, this ain't our house anymore. And let's see. Let's see. I got this timer going off on the YouTube. I want to see if it works because it's going to go right to something else. So if I know Eric is actually finishing up his fantasy football draft. So so he's going to be coming on in a second, and then Scott will pop on. But thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to catch up. And this is going to go to the 4-up in 20 seconds. And wow, actually, this is actually working pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. 3, 2. All right. All right. How's it going, everybody? We're here with 2 of us. The other 2 are blank. Scott's running late, and Eric is running a little bit late. He's decided to do his fantasy football draft on the day of a show. So he should be joining us in a little bit. But I want to know how'd you guys like that 2-minute countdown? Was that better? That was a suggestion from the group from one of the polls. So hopefully that it wasn't too crazy. Oh, there's Scott coming on. So tonight we have Nico Carver coming on with us, hanging out with us tonight. It's going to be cool to have him back. He's been a repeat offender to the show. So it's going to be pretty cool having him back on and hanging out and see out what he was doing. I know he's been putting out videos left and right, so it's going to be cool to hang out with him again. So Scott, welcome. Yeah, well, nope. See you later. Okay. There you go. And do we have any audio from Scott? Yeah, we got audio. Scott, let's see. You there? All right, cool. And let's see. I think we got everybody here. Okay, and let's bring Nico on in. And there we go. Hey, what's going on? How's it going, Nico? So how long has it been since you moved? It's been a little bit, yeah. No audio. Let's see. I could hear you fine. Hold on a second. Let's see. What happened here? Let's see. Check. I could hear you. And Scott, let's see. Oh, hold on a second. Go mute. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Exactly. Let me see. You know what? The last time this happened, I had to switch it back and forth. Try this now.
Okay, I'm talking again. Can people hear me? I'm
There we go.
speaking
Cool.
again,
Yeah, we're
and
good.
we're
Yeah,
good?
for
Okay.
some reason, Melon doesn't like to save the audio settings. I got to go back and forth. So sorry about that, but we're back.
Oh, no
So
problem.
nobody
Yes, I
heard
was just
what.
saying it's been clear here, more clear here this summer in New Hampshire than it has been since I moved up here, and that was like 3 years ago. I
Wow,
feel
is
like this
that
is the
long
most
ago,
clear
huh?
summer I've had in the Northeast since maybe 2019. I've had like an average of like 6 or 7 clear nights a month in each of the months of the summer, so pretty good.
Man, that's awesome because you and I are now spoiled because we have like a little you're down in SFRO too, right?
Yes, I am,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, how's been your experience there so far?
The service is great. I've had bad equipment luck just with
Oh
things
no.
breaking, but yeah. The latest one is the mount. It's disconnecting a lot, and the techs at SFRO said it might be the control board, which is not good because that'll probably take a while to replace, I bet. But
Which mount is it?
it's an Ioptron Gem 45, and
Okay.
it's pretty new. It's like a year old, so might still be under warranty. That's my hope.
Oh man, that's crazy because the one thing that I found I have the Nix 101 down there,
Mhm.
and for whatever reason I need to reboot that almost every night for the most part, and it just for whatever reason it won't stay. When the CASA strip shuts down for some reason, it won't turn. I guess it goes into power save mode. I guess the mount. I don't know, but it'll. I just got to turn it off and turn it on, and then I don't know if it's that or if it's Unity. To be honest with you, but because Unity could be kind of problematic sometimes.
Mhm.
But it's been working. I was telling everybody, I said, I got more data since May because I got there in May. So this is the third full month, May, June, July, or fourth full month. Fourth full month. I've gotten more data in 4 months that I've gotten in a year and a half in New York.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it's it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Now it's just about having the time to process it all, right?
Yeah. I've been definitely more of a data collector at SFRO than a processor to this point. Like I have projects. I have many projects started, and then I'm thinking they're multi-year. But part of it is I just haven't had time to even look at the data. So
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So what else you been up to, man? What's been going on in Nebula Photoland?
it's been going good. I did a Messier marathon this year. It was my first one, and I was really happy that worked out. I did it photographically, of course, because that's my thing. But yeah, that was really fun. I was down in southern Arizona with my family for a family trip, and then they let me sort of stay up all night one night to do my Messier marathon, and because we were in the Gila National Forest, which is Bortle 1, so it was an ideal spot for it.
Oh yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. I would do it again. Probably put a new twist on it each time I try it. This time it was untracked with just a camera and a lens.
That's awesome. What mount were you using? The Sky Adventure or
No
something?
mount. No, just a tripod. So I
Oh,
found everything with the red dot finder.
oh, sweet. That's cool. That's cool. I, I did that once visually from New York. I only got because you got that at least in New York. I'm sure it's the same everywhere else, obviously, but you got that space between like 1 in the morning to 3 in the morning where there's like nothing and you just got to kind of wait to things to
Yeah.
pop up. And I didn't get all, I couldn't get them all. It was impossible from New York because the light dome in the West is just to get those ones that are early in Virgo all the way over there. It's almost impossible to do. I think I got like 2 of them. So I got 81 across the night visually in a manual dome.
Wow.
Nice.
So me and this guy were like moving this dome like this, like this, with a 12-inch scope inside. And, you know, we were in a lot of pain for like 3 days.
Yeah, some I did get all of them, all 110, but some of them it was like I could tell I was pointed at the right spot because of the star pattern on the screen, but I couldn't see the object at all. You know, it was too much in the atmosphere, or it was just too small to see with a camera lens, or to make out really. But then when I brought them onto the computer and stacked, you know, the little bits I got for each one, I could make them all out. Yeah, it was really neat. There's so many Messier objects that are not really that interesting to me photographically, like, but it was just nice to sort of know what they all are, because there's so many that I haven't even considered photographing, and so now I sort of have a better understanding of the catalog.
I think it's funny, the one that sticks into my mind, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, is M40. M40 is this open cluster that just looks like a Y, and that's all it is. And I was like, that can't be it. It can't be this. You know, if you know anything about the history of the Messier catalog, it's all about, you know, Messier was a comet hunter, and these things kind of annoyed him, so he cataloged them. And how he mistaken this for a comet, it just kind of annoyed the comet. Like, this thing doesn't even look like anything, but it's in there.
Yeah, I think there's one even that's just like a double star. It's not even. It's like that one. I'm just sort of like that. Not even really what we'd call a deep sky object, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he was probably using a telescope that, by today's standard, would be sort of like laughable how bad it would be.
Probably. Oh yeah, it was probably horrible. It's probably like my first my first Meade 60 from 1982 probably beat it up. You know, because it was horrible. That was what, 1780 he was doing that.
Yeah. What else have I been up to? Just a lot. I mean, the with the clear nights, I'm finally fully sort of using my backyard observatory I built. For the first like year it was out there, I hadn't really taken full advantage of having two piers, but now I'm fully like up and running on two piers, which it feels good. So
it's nice.
That took a while.
2 rigs running, and it's nice. Now I don't have the observatory stuff like you have, but I've got 2 tripods, 2 mounts, and 2 scopes on it. And it's fun to do because you can do multiple targets at night.
Yes.
Running very wide versus sometimes much more zoomed in, and it's cool to even sort of point them at the same place and just see, like, you know, here's at 100 millimeter focal length and here's at 1,000, just to get that difference. It's really fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild, because, you know, I can't wait. When I move to my new house, hopefully within the next 3 to 4 weeks, I already got the place for the roll-off roof all set and ready to go. And I know I've been getting yelled at like left and right. What are you doing, putting all this money into something in those crappy skies in New York and all?
Yeah.
You know, and I get that, but you know, it's something that I've always wanted. And in all fairness, I'm going from my Bortle 8.5 to a lovely Bortle 6. So that is a big difference for me. You know, in order for me to get anything better than that into the 5s and the 4s, I would have to be making probably minimum $1 million a year to go into the Southamptons, and you know, and that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So unless I win the lotto, of course. But but so I'm the plan is to have a 2-pier setup, roll-off roof, Dark Dragons kind of motor, the whole thing, with the sky shed plans. Do that, maybe like a 10 by 14, something like that, and just set it all up and go. And one will be mine for my scope, and one will be mine for testing and playing, kind of.
Yeah, that's a lot. Sort of what I've done is I the one scope I mostly use for testing new telescopes, especially the bigger ones that I feel like really could benefit from a nice mount. And then I usually actually have a third setup going outside for on like a AM5 or something, testing other things, smaller telescopes. It is nice once with the observatory. It's just like, since the computers are all hooked up, it's like I can set up the plan ahead of time. It really is sort of like the remote experience where I can just start it right at nightfall, and then I can really just focus on other things for YouTube. And so that was always the dream, but it was really this summer that I finally got organized enough to make it work.
That's awesome. You know, not, you know, it only took 3 years, but now you can kind of enjoy it and take care of it, because I'm just excited to have a big enough backyard to do what I wanted to do. I mean, I put a pier I was like Stacey Downton. I had my pier in the backyard that was just a concrete kind of column with an old pier with my EQ8 was on it, and that was it. It was open to the elements and everything. 365 cover, have a day. But now, I guess now from going to SFRO for the past couple of months, it's kind of like, God, I just want it to open and close and do its thing. And if it gets clear at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't have to be up. It'll open, and that's kind of the thing where I want to kind of get. That's the promised land. That's where I want to get to, So
Yeah. I haven't motorized my home one yet. I mean, I feel like I'm always here, and usually if it is a clear night, I'm staying up all night. So it hasn't felt like a necessity yet, because you pretty much any clear night, I have the luxury of staying up all night, because I mean, I do this full time, so it sort of makes sense that I don't need the automation yet. But I would like to do it just for fun, because I mean, the building the observatory was a lot of fun. So I'm sure like making it fully automated would be fun too, just to have that experience.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And I know I spoke to Ron Breacher about his roll-off roof that opens. He has it as well, that opens and closes whenever. And he said, Dan, I have, and once I went fully automated, I've gotten so much more data that I wouldn't have gotten, because I would go to bed and it's been cloudy, and where it clears up at 1, 2 in the morning, it'll open up, get data for 3 hours, and close back up again. And he was able to get that kind of stuff where he wouldn't have gotten it before. So that's another thing.
Yeah, how does that work? How does it know? I mean, I guess they have it at SFRO, but like, I guess it's a cloud sensor, so it knows how much of the sky is clear to open back up. Because I mean, I know about like how the rain sensor works, or it feels one drop of rain,
Yeah,
it closes the roof. I've never really understand the reopening when it clears up. I guess you have is it a camera, and then it somehow knows what a clear sky looks like?
Yeah, so I think that Ron has the Boltwood 2 sensor from Diffraction Limited, which is a really high-end cloud sensor. It's a total sky kind of sensor, where it does a couple of things, and includes taking barometer, humidity, and temperature settings, plus visual cloud settings. And I think there is a camera in there, if I remember right. But it's able from their sensors to realize that it's open, it's not cloudy, or it is cloudy, and it sends that through an ASCOM driver to the safe line that it's that to the motor, and it opens up, and then at the end of the day it closes, and that's it. So kind of very similar to SFRO. They have weather and open close sensors. I haven't gotten the weather one to work right yet, but I've gotten the open safety one. Obviously, if it's open, I figured it's safe. So
Yeah.
but that seems to work, and it works directly with Nina through ASCOM. So it's pretty awesome. I
sure.
see Eric popped in. Eric, you got some audio?
Nico!
Oh my God, that was
Oh my
loud. Let me turn you down a little bit, brother.
You better turn me down. Anybody that was asleep ain't now.
Man, you're loud too, man. Jeez. Okay. You're both down now.
Wake up.
There you go. What's
up,
going on,
everybody?
peeps?
Nada. Wrapped up the Final Fantasy draft, so I'm ready to rock and roll. You know, this is my time of year, guys.
It's not Final Fantasy. It's fantasy football.
Did you get
That's
any,
what Final Fantasy. What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah,
Well, you know what? I love Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 16 is a great game. Just letting you guys know.
Did you draft
Anyway.
any commanders?
Yeah, Terry McLaurin. I got McLaurin.
Oh, that's a good.
And I got Allen for my quarterback because I was number 9 as far as draft. I ended up getting Derrick Henry first, and then I ended up getting Josh Allen because I was going to have this huge gap between, and I was like, I bet if I'm going to get a decent QB, I better grab him now, or else I was going to wait for 18 more picks.
All right. Well, I know nothing about football, so
yeah, you hockey bum,
I went on auto
Nico,
draft.
what's up, man?
Not much. Yeah, just going well. How about you?
Good. You know, I don't know if the guys have told you, I've been having some back issues and sciatica issues, so it was crazy these past couple in and out of ER and hospitals and stuff like that for the past week or so, walking around on a cane. So today was like the first day that I was without the cane. So today was a good day, and I'll take it. So yeah, still need surgery, but you know, because I'm losing feeling in my foot, but you know, yeah, because the nerve pain. It's like you know, that tingling in the bottom of the side of my foot. So it's all good.
Yeah, I had a nerve taken out surgically out of my foot at some point. It all went well, and I can say after the surgery, it was like it was great because I probably just struggled with it for like 18 months before the surgery or something.
Oh
yeah, it stinks. It really does. It really does. So yeah, I just take it one day at a time. But I saw one of your latest videos. I think it was was it the Sigma, the 200 mil?
Oh yeah. I was so glad
that testing
to review that lens.
Yeah. That you were testing, and then you were doing a lot of different ones. You were using like the Canon. I think it was like it's Canon stock, the Rokinon, which is what I have. You had, and I think did you do 2 Sigmas, the 200, and there was like another one?
Yeah, and the 105. Yep.
In the 105.
Yeah.
And it also showed, you know what? Great video, by the way. It was very, very well done, very informative. But it also told me when it comes to my Rokinon, just stick with that 4. Let's go with that 4 to be done.
Especially so what I'm doing with the Sigma 105s is I have one on mono and one on one-shot color. And on the one-shot color, I do f4. Because I'm like, I like just being able to just get nice stars across the field and I use the one-shot color for the stars. And then for the narrow band, I do have it down at f2.5 or f2.8, something like that. Because I know that I'm gonna throw out, like, not use those stars anyways. Right. And so I feel like that sort of works. And then, you know, with narrowband, you get that benefit of a little faster speed. But I think with those lenses, a lot of people think, oh well, because they're so fast, you have to use them fast. But if you think of a telescope, it's like we think of a telescope at f4 as being fast. So the lens you can really use at f4, and it's great. Yep.
For sure. So that being said, because you do a lot with DSLR and with your lenses, with the prime lenses and telephotos. I don't know if you mentioned it when you were in the video, but what is your favorite? If you're using the DSLR, or even if you're not using it, but just the lens, the optics.
Probably that Canon 200, just because for personal reasons, it's like it was the first lens I really did any kind of serious deep sky astrophotography with, and then I just kept using it. So once I got the ZWO camera, I got the adapter to use it with mono, and so I'll never sell that lens because it's the one that just like throughout the years, it's just continued to be useful. I've often just gotten images I really like out of it. But I'm not saying it's the best lens. It's just that for me personally, it's been an important lens in my astro journey. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. For you, yeah, you know, your personal preference, yes, that's the one, yes, you go to. That's maybe like your favorite. You know, that's the one that's
I think so. Yeah.
Most,
and I mean,
Mr. Dependable.
Yeah, Mr. Dependable, exactly. And I've had it serviced from Canon a couple times, and you know, they do a really nice cleaning and just make sure it's all working well. And so yeah, I'll always hang on to that one.
Right on.
Which lens was this?
It was
But the
200
Sigma lenses they've been sending me are pretty amazing. The big downside, as I mentioned, and whenever I do one of these new Sigma videos, is that they're mostly just been available for E mount and L mount, and then they have that focus by wire system, so they're never probably going to be adaptable to astro cameras, which I know for a lot of us probably just rules them out right there, because it's like if you can't put an astro camera on it, then a lot of people just don't want to mess with it. So yeah, and I understand it, because it's like the Sigma FPL camera I was using, it's actually pretty good. It's like the ASI 6200 MC, but there's so many limitations when you're actually using it. Like it only works up to 30 seconds when you're using it with the camera. Someone made this sort of experimental ASCOM driver for it, but you can only then shoot 30 seconds or 300 seconds. Nothing else.
Nothing in between.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's one or the other. Yeah, so it's just sort of weird.
Right on. Okay. How's the observatory? Because do you have it motorized yet?
I don't. Yeah, it's still a push off roof, but I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, before you got on, I was saying it's like the first summer where I really feel like I'm fully using it. I have both piers set up all the time, and I can just like get going with the two piers and then even do a third setup outside the observatory. And that was sort of the dream, is that like I could actually just be collecting a lot of data on personal projects and then also be testing stuff for YouTube all in one night. And so that's been great that it's actually working now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I really like just being in there, walking around. The isolated piers is really nice, because you can just be walking around your stuff and not having to worry about like it getting any vibrations or anything. You know, that's a really nice thing to have, for sure.
Yeah. Did you set up a little warm space for yourself in there, or is it strictly just the piers in there?
No, it's just the piers. I now have a monitor on an arm and a little very small desk with a keyboard in there. I hope to make it a bigger desk that I can fold up and then bring down. But in the winter, what I usually do is I just brush off the snow and start them, and then go into my house, and I can control them sort of like it's a remote observatory. So it's like sort of like my house is my warm room, because it's just like 20 feet over. So
because definitely there up north where you are in the Northeast in New Hampshire, you know, you gotta have a warm space.
Yeah, I thought about the warm room, but then I thought, you know, I'm gonna have to deal with the snow and ice no matter what. So I'm gonna have to go over there and deal with it. And at that point, if I've dealt with the snow and ice and opened it up, then I can just go back to the house. So I just didn't think it was worth the extra expense. Because I think
totally.
Yeah, it probably would add to, you know, probably a quarter to a third of the total cost that I put into it to add a warm room, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with you know, the way, you know, internet is, and how we could hardwire stuff, and how we could get electric very easily out to the mount, I see when people are doing observatories that not many people are doing warm rooms anymore, for the reason that you don't really have to be at the, you know, at the mount anymore, or in the building anymore, for that matter. Everyone's getting more, I guess, used to being away from their equipment. when they have an observatory, and it's just become more and more stable connections, stable Wi-Fi. You know, things aren't dropping as much as they used to, and you know, it's becoming more efficient to just be in your house, you know, and you know, and just run a Cat 6 cable and be done with it, you know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you're
I didn't
right.
actually. I didn't actually even run in the Cat 6 cable. I found I have fiber, even though I live in a very rural area. I have fiber, and then I just did a bunch of testing with the they call it the mesh
Yeah, mesh
repeater
networks.
network
Yeah.
thing.
Mesh network.
Yeah, and
Yep.
I found like if I put that on the closest wall to where the observatory is, the internet is just really stable. I've live
Sweet.
streamed from out there, and it was working
Nice.
great. So I
Yeah,
think I was
you-
getting something like 80 megabyte down, 60 up, or something like that
That's
from the
plenty.
Yeah, you're
observatory.
good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
plenty. That's
Yeah.
plenty.
You know, a lot of people, you know, don't realize that the Wi-Fi, even in my place right now, I could see my Wi-Fi. I got outside access points all over my property, which I'm gonna have to take down and put them in somewhere else now. But you know, I have ubiquity outside access points that literally I could see my Wi-Fi down at the end of my block and still get on. And
Wow.
you know, it's getting so crazy the strength that you're able to get out of these things with Wi-Fi 7 coming out, you know, Wi-Fi 8 coming out, you know, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
The one thing I
Tom
don't have
asked
out
a
here is
question.
cell signal. So I've been thinking about building like my own little personal like tower or something. I don't know how those work exactly, but I know you can sort of do that of like
Yeah.
sort of feed off the nearest tower if you point it right or something.
repeater.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
my
that.
friend has one
you
across
can
the
do
street.
something like that.
My friend has one, actually has two of them across the street, and he has them open source. So people on the block can use them. So and either Verizon or AT&T or whoever, they pay him so that they could
Oh.
use his. It's literally like, it looks like an old CB antenna on like streamers, and
Yeah.
it's he literally had two. One, the first week he put it up, it fell down, but you know, you know, it works great. I got no problem with my cell phone now.
Nice.
Cool.
And he's getting paid for it.
He's getting paid for it. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom shot a question. Would a 585 work with a IS7200 pretty well?
EF.
If you have the adapter and everything, because that's the IS7, the zoom, you know, the zoom. I guess isn't that the stock? Canon,
It's
isn't that the
EF70 to
Canon
200.
stock?
That's a stock one.
Yeah, that's the stock.
Yeah,
one.
I think that would work fine. I've put the 585 size sensor on ASCAR FMA 180. So
Okay.
that's sort of right in the mid of that range, and I thought it worked well. I was doing it on the GTI, so it's just to have like a very small little compact kit. It worked really well, I think.
Good. Yeah, I was thinking that it might be a good fit. You know, it wouldn't be too bad of a fit.
Yeah,
especially with
sometimes
that
people
small
get a little bit
sensor.
nervous because the 585 is a really weird weird shaped chip. You know, it's like a widescreen movie
70mm
panel.
widescreen.
Yeah.
Movie.
Super wide, very narrow at the top, and so people are scared sometimes of either vignetting or not, you know, whatever it is. But you got to remember that the 585 is also a very small, even though the shape is the way it is, it's very small. So a lot of things are going to prevent that.
Fitting in the middle of your
Yeah.
view as much as possible.
Yeah.
Aberrations on the edges.
Sorry if you could hear my dog in the background.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Most of your lens.
Yeah, no, I
photography,
think I
Nico,
don't think it would
is-
be a problem there, Tom. You know,
Scott, you were
be
saying
okay.
something?
Yeah, is my volume levels okay?
Well, you're
you
talking
wanna
very
turn
low.
his-
I'm going to boot you
he's
back up
like
again.
Yeah, boot him back up a bit.
Just
I was asking, are most of your lenses Canon lenses? Nico.
All my lenses, most all my lenses are EF mount. Yeah, I don't have. They're not all Canon brand, but they're almost all EF mount. I've just sort of standardized on that, and then I have all the different adapters and accessories and rings and things that work with that.
Have you ever used anything from Astromechanics as far as for using the cooled cameras for autofocus?
Yes, on one of my rigs in my observatory, I have two Sigma 105 EF, and then behind both of those are the Astromechanics units, and then an ASI 6200 MC on one, and an ASI 6200 MM on the other. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm doing these sort of long-term projects of huge surveys of constellations, and none of it's released yet, but and I'm trying to get sort of all of the different filter responses. So like the whole constellation of Cepheus and HA, S2, O3, broadband, all these different things. And yeah, those Astromechanics units have made it much more possible because then I can just start it and it can do the autofocus every hour or whatever, and I don't have to worry about it. The one thing they don't do, of course, is the rotation. So when I'm doing these big mosaics, I have to just loosen up the ring on the Sigma 105 and turn the whole thing to rotate for the different panels. And that's harder than you'd think it would be just to get it perfect. So I've taped on like an indexing ring onto the lens, and that's helped for sure. But it's still sometimes hard because even the plate solvers, when you're that wide, full frame on 105, will sometimes get confused, and they'll just have sort of chasing rotation or something. So it's been a challenge, but I've been enjoying doing that. And the Astromechanics units, for anyone that doesn't know, they're made by, I think, a Russian gentleman, and it's astromechanics.org, and they only work with the Canon EF autofocus lenses. So it doesn't have to be Canon brand, but it has to be EF and it has to be autofocus, and they actually use the autofocus motors to do your focusing curve.
That's awesome. You were talking about that, Scott, like a couple of months ago, and we've been thinking, oh man, we got. Then I don't know if we saw it from your video or somewhere else or somebody in the chat. They said, oh yeah, Astromechanics guys one. I saw it on the video, so then we started talking about it.
Yeah, I contacted them.
I can definitely recommend them. They work really well. They also can control aperture, so I don't usually need to automate that, but it's nice that you don't have to do any tricks, right? To get the aperture how you want, you can just set it through whatever your control software is. Just tell it, I want it to be at f4 or f2 or whatever it is, and it just sets it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I contacted them, and they do not do anything with Nikon lenses yet.
Yeah.
So, because I'm all Nikon. Everything I have is Nikon.
Yeah. I think if I remember right, the Canon autofocus control thing has been not open source, but it's well known at this point how to control those Canon autofocus motors. Like Backyard EOS does it. A bunch of different software can do it. So that's my guess is why Canon is in the lead in that way.
It's kind of like the LX200 kind of drivers. Everybody knows, you know, if it doesn't work, it probably works with the LX200 driver from Ascom.
Yes.
So, you know, so I got another question here. Okay, that's back focus on Canon lenses. Has to do with the camera, I thought, right?
It's the lens. It's 44 millimeters. On Nikon, it's 46.5. On Canon, it's 44. So yeah, it is something to consider with most telescope correctors, you have 55, and with most of these DSLR based lenses, you have less than that. You have usually between 42 and 47.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And
good to know. I
the
didn't know that.
issue with mirrorless lenses designed for mirrorless is they're often they only have between 18 and 21, so you have very little room to do anything with those mirrorless lenses. Usually that all gets eaten up just by how far back the camera sensor is in the body.
Yeah, you probably got like 3 or 4 millimeters, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, because usually, what is it? Just on most of the ZWO cameras or most of these Astro cameras, it's usually what
17 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, 17 and a half. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's interesting. I had no idea that the back focus with that was like that with your prime lens or DSLR lenses, that you had that difference versus using a standard, like a telescope with
Flattener reducer. Yeah.
flattener reducer.
Yeah, so the
Preservation.
reason the 55 millimeter thing came about was basically because 44 gets eaten up by the DSLR body, and then they found that 11 millimeters was like just the right thickness for a T adapter, I think, and so they
Oh, so
that's why
most of the T
55 just
adapters
became
are,
this standard, is because of the DSLRs. And
Gotcha.
if we didn't have those huge mirror boxes, it probably wouldn't have been as generous as it is. But now I think everyone wants even more than 55, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like there's so many things we
Oh,
could
yeah.
put in there.
Yeah, 55 is now
Yes.
like the minimum at this point, because
Yeah.
when you're sitting there and you throw on, like, you just add 5 millimeters for, weird things like the electronic tilt adapter, 5 millimeters for that, 12 millimeters for rotator, another 20 for a filter wheel. Oh, I see the box.
Yeah, I got it. Even though I was I guess I don't know why I got it. I feel like I'm not actually like a tilt obsessive, but the technology just looked so interesting to me that I was like, okay, I got it.
Nice. Yeah, man. I can't keep them on the shelves. I got 3 in, and they're all gone. They were gone by the time they came in. So now I gotta raise my
Wow.
stock on them.
That's good.
So
Which ones are these?
Pretty good though.
that's the electronic tilt adjuster from Wanderer Astro.
Oh, the expensive one.
Yeah. The expensive one. Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
one.
It's almost 900
Yeah,
bucks.
they're not
You know.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but
Well, wasn't it Joe that was talking about the that tilt adapter on Friday?
Yeah,
That you
that
could-
was the inside one.
the
Yep.
Astro Precision.
Astro Precision.
Yeah, that you could move from camera to camera to camera.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still have that.
And
one
it
here.
had its own software that you plug it in and set your tilt.
Mhm.
So made it real easy.
Yeah, there's a couple videos out there on it. I think there's at least one from Sasha. I think had it on from
Mhm.
View into Space, or View, in something like that. I forget the name of this channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 55 is definitely not enough these days with all the stuff that we could put
No.
in there. Think of all the things we have. We have rotators, we got focusers, we got filter wheels, we got, add a millimeter or two for filters, stuff like that. Filter drawers. I mean, you keep on going on and on and on and on with all the stuff. People are looking for 100 these days just to put stuff in there.
I mean, heck, even with you have the Schmidt, the SCTs, the 8s, for example, the Edge 8, you only get 105 millimeters
105,
of back focus, and that gets taken up really quickly versus
Mhm.
the 9 1/4s, 11s, and 14s, where I think you get like 148,
146, I think.
146.
Yeah, it's
which is a bit,
147.
which is a lot, which is very generous, with, like you say, all of the stuff you're adding now
46.
because of so many new accessories that have come out now. I can't. I don't blame people for asking. We need more back focus. We need more back focus. We need, because it's just the sign of the times. With all of the stuff that's coming out now that you can add on to make things, to make your images better and stuff like that. It's like you can do electronic this, electronic that. You know, it's just nuts. All of the stuff that you can add on nowadays to these cameras to improve your actual photography.
Well, I mean, there's only so many things that you're going to put in that image train, you know, that really are kind of necessary. You know, a filter wheel, you know, an OAG, you know, maybe a focuser, possibly a focuser. What a tilt or the tilt adapter. If you're using that other one, you know, that you shift from camera to camera, then you don't have to. That one you just, you know, you adjust your camera and then screw it back in place, and then your rotator, and the Wanderer Astro rotator. It doesn't take up much. What is it? 10 millimeter?
10 centimeter.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So Nico, what do you think's coming out next? Do you think anything that's something else that we could throw in that imaging train that we you know, that we don't have at the moment? What do you think?
I mean, I've been really impressed with the QHY's mini cam. They've been saying that they're going to keep coming up with more filters for that. But I wonder if the other companies are going to respond with all-in-ones similar to that, because I guess they're not, of course, the first to do an all-in-one, but I think that the innovation there is more that they're doing the custom filters, which really keeps the price down. And so I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think the harmonic mount thing is just going to keep accelerating. Exploding. Yeah. I think probably like we're going to see the price is just going to keep going down for the small ones. Like Quiv did that video today with the $500 one. And, yeah. So I think that's going to be there. Those will probably replace star trackers on the low end, probably.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, I guess the one way they don't replace star trackers is needing guiding, which complicates the setup a little bit, maybe. But I guess you would only need guiding if you're using them at a high enough focal length. Probably if you still put like a Rokinon 135 on one of those, it might be okay without guiding. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's just even if you do guiding on it, you really, what are you going to throw a f4 40 millimeter kind of little dinky thing on there with a 120? I mean, you know, it's really, you don't need much for it, you know, when you're dealing with sub 400 millimeter focal length. I mean, I wouldn't think.
Well, especially if you've got a mount that's got encoders in it.
Well, I mean, but these don't have the encoders on. I mean,
those small ones don't usually have
$8,000 on a mount. This is a sub $500 mount that we're talking about.
Oh, 500.
Yeah, sub 500.
Yeah,
the thing that it came out. What was it from? He bought it from AliExpress, I think, or it was like a AM5 or AM3 knockoff kind of. But I mean, who knows? I mean, you know, I think you're right, Nico. I think the prices are going to start coming down. These $3,000 plus mounts that are doing 44 pounds are going to be in the $2,000 range eventually, depending on how tariffs go these days. You know, I think it's gonna happen. The prices will come down. You know,
I think there's going to be a lot of competition with that harmonic mount space. I'm already seeing all these little companies come out with things that are, And I think with that competition, it's going to keep the prices competitive. Should be interesting.
I mean, you sit there and you come out with what? You come out with the ZWOs first, then the Pegasuses, then the Ioptrons. Then you got all these other guys coming up. You got Warp Astron. You got EMCAN. You got all these other ones popping up. There's so many now. I can't even keep on going with them. It's so many now.
But I think
and another part I'm interested in is I think there's instructions. I saw this somewhere where to 3D print your own and buy the motors and everything and put it together.
Oh my God!
Because I'm friends with someone who does the normal Star Tracker, the OG Star Tracker, which is all 3D printed plus his electronics kit. but I think there's going to be more competition with harmonic drive 3D printed plus electronics kit, and you can just put it together yourself. It's really fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
what I was
crazy.
gonna say, because that's the thing that's, I think, really going to catch fire is these smaller, almost DIY harmonic mounts that you're saying, Nico, that you can just 3D print, the shelves and just buy the small components, just follow the directions, put the thing together, and off you go. And people, at least in my opinion, I think if we look at the demographic of astrophotographers, I mean, you're walking around, you're looking at FNIAC, you go into these places, you have a lot of people who are, who are much older, doing these, more, like retirees or people who are professionals and have the money, but they've, now that they've gotten to that point where they've got this money now and they want to be able to do the things they wanted to do. So they're like in their 40s, 50s and up. And when you get to that certain point, take it from someone who knows and talking from a bad back, you want to start getting things as lighter as possible. Even though I love doing this, I want to travel and do all these things and take my refractor and my rig and all that stuff. You don't want to be lugging even back and forth out of your garage or anything like that. You don't want to keep having to move a 40-pound mount and all the counterweights and all that stuff. So these strain waves are just going to just keep getting, I think, less expensive, but also getting better. And eventually I really, really hope we can start getting even more observatory grade as far as payload type strain waves that people can actually afford and be able to actually put into the observatory and won't break their back doing it. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to go and set up an EQ8 or a CEM 120 or anything. And I know everybody's going to say this observatory, you're never going to move it again or whatever. But still, getting the thing set up in the first place is going to be backbreaking as it is.
I remember doing my EQ8 and I just took it down off the pier the other day and I forgot how heavy that thing was. I mean, the thing was heavy. And to get the pier off the J bolts was a nightmare. I did it on my own. It was the pier I have has got to be like 250, 300 pounds. It's crazy. I had to roll it across my backyard to get it to the patio. But it was, I mean, the EQ8, I mean, it's not crazy heavy, but it's heavy enough to be, I would not want to set that up on a nightly basis. Thank God it was out. It's been on the pier for 3.5 years. Has not moved. Scope came in, scope goes out on clear nights. And 365 goes on the top. And it's been a champ. It's been a champ. Before I had that on there, I had my EQ6 on there. And then I was able to get the EQ8.
And that's not a light mount either.
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that the EQ8's only probably about 5 or 10 pounds heavier than it. It's a really, the EQ6 is a beast. It's a beast. For the payload, it's a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I went with the RST300.
We're having conversations here. I'm sorry?
I said that's why I went with the Rainbow.
Yeah. How heavy? What's the pay? What I know? What's the weight on it? Because okay, so that's the payload, but what's the actual weight of the mount itself?
Oh, the mount doesn't weigh hardly anything.
I think it's like 7 kilos. I think
like,
it's like 15 pounds.
18, yeah, 15, 18 pounds.
It's not.
It doesn't weigh hardly anything.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I've installed 2 of those, and I sold Scott his. And let me tell you, they're good mounts. They're good mounts, but they are expensive. $9,000 for the 300.
Yeah, $8,500 for the RST300.
So That's a
And
price, Nico, that, you know, if you think about it, that's a price that I can't believe hasn't come down yet with the other
It won't.
harmonic drives coming out. I can't, that price has been the same
It won't.
for 10 years. It's been the same.
Yeah, it won't. They're not going to move that price. They have no reason to. That's a unicorn mount for harmonic drives. It's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Now,
for
if they
that
could only
amount, yeah,
put
you are
brakes
paying
in
for a
both
Cadillac.
axes, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
For $9,000.
But you know what? I don't know what you know about the setup that I've got, Nico, but I've got about 80. I think at last time I checked, it's about 83 pounds of scope and computer and all kinds of gear sitting on that mount. And
Wow.
so I've got a 14, and so, but I occasionally I get a little bit of drift, you know, when it's not under power. The wind will push it and it'll drift a little bit, but for the most part, it's fine. I've never seen it where the wind has pushed it so hard that it literally lays it down. You know, it'll push it a little bit, but it's not. And if I put the cover over it, not the lens cover, but the whole telegizmos over it, it's fine. It doesn't even move.
Wow.
So, but it controls. God, it controls that great big C14 like nobody's business. It's a fabulous mount, that Rainbow, and the one I think it's the 135 with the encoders. It's like 5 grand.
Yeah.
That is a freaking awesome mount. That mount is, whew, yeah. You'd be hard pressed to find a better mount.
That's the
I have sort of my
Rainbow 135.
The 135 with the encoders.
E.
Yeah.
I have sort of my unicorn mount too. I have the Astro. I don't know, what is it. Now I just forgot what it's called. Astrophysics Mach 2 GTO in the observatory. Yeah, I really like that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a sweet mount.
I would love to get one of those, man. Because I stepped in a little poo poo when I came across my retirement scope. I got a Astrophysics 130 GT, and my God, I mean, I love that scope. I just need a Mach 2 to put under it. That'd be great. You know. But how you like that mount? That mount's got to be awesome.
Yeah, just it really is that thing of just never any issue with it whatsoever from the very first moment I had tried it. Never had any issue with it. The one time I had slight thing was it was user error, was like I ran into a table, and even when I did that, it immediately stopped and gave me this warning on screen that says like it detected like it hit something.
Hit a collision.
Stopped the motors. Yeah. I was like, this is a cool mount. Yeah, I've never had anything like that. Every other mount I've had, if it hits something, it would just keep trying to
going.
push against that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Gotta love those collision detectors, man. I mean, they do such a good job with their mounts. I mean, it looks gorgeous too. The color that they use, that little Astrophysics white, you know, that they use.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. One day I'll put it. Maybe that'll go on the pier in the observatory. But you know, to be outside, I mean, to spend that much money on a mount to be outside like that with no protection, I don't know. I want something with a roof. You know.
Proud to say that one, Illinois made, American made, Illinois
Yeah,
made.
absolutely, 100%.
I remember going over to Astrophysics. It was when I used to live in Belvedere. I mean, it's McChesney Park's right there next to it, and you know, I've gone there. I went over there several times. It's just a nice little shop. It's not something super. The fact it's not super big, you know, or this massive place. It's just this nice little spot off in the corner of inside this industrial park. And it's just and they crank these guys out, but you know, and they've got that wait list, and it's worth it, you know. But if you get on that wait list, as soon as they call you, you better be ready to buy that sucker, because they'll go into the next one and say, "Oh, no problem, we'll get you on the next one," you know. And then you just want to kick yourself, like, I could have had it knocked to now. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I joined the wait list in maybe late 2019 and got called in 2022. And so I think initially the Mach 2 had a lot of demand, so that it took maybe over 2.5 years to get it. I think I've heard that maybe it's a little faster now, that they've sort of ramped up production. But I know they have production runs, so I can't really predict it. I don't know. But like, it did take a little while. And when I put my name on the wait list, I had no like thought about like, will I have enough money to get this when my name actually gets called? And it was still like a big decision, because that's definitely the most I've ever spent on like one item for astrophotography.
It was definitely worth it, though, it sounds like, because
yeah, I mean, now that it's all going in the observatory, it definitely is worth it. I like the EQ6R that I have on the other pier, but now that there's like that direct comparison in the observatory, I do see the weaknesses of the EQ6R. Like sometimes it'll just do something weird, like it'll when I'm plate solving or something, it'll just not move. I'm just like, why is it doing this? And I just have to reset the whole thing or something. Well, with the Mach 2, it's just nothing ever goes wrong with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's worth it. You know, we say it all the time on the show, right? Buy once, cry once, you know. So that's it. That's definitely it. You know, I mean, Eric just got a good mount with the Paramount, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mighty.
Yeah. So yeah, I will hear back from them next week on what's going on. But yeah, so I've got the Paramount Mighty, and I've got a S6Ep60, you know, which was the first mount. And that S6Ep60 is still a solid.
Yeah.
Seriously,
for sure.
It is a solid mount. But yeah, it was time to say, all right, if I'm gonna go for something, let's go for the Mighty, you know. And I saw it on Stellar Review's website, like the Neef special that Vic was selling it, and I was like, okay, no brainer. Let's just go. We'll save a few grand.
Do you have to use the SkyX with that, or is that optional?
Yes,
you have
to use the SkyX with it. Yeah. And it's not that bad of a learning curve, because I was kind of worried about that, but or really just getting started. And we have several people here in the chat and in our viewer membership that have Paramounts.
Yeah,
it does take a minute, and it was great learning, but yeah, you do need to have the software base, the SkyX to run it, and it's not that bad. It's not a bad little piece.
It's a pretty program. It really is. They did a good job with the graphical interface and the way it's all set up on the left side in the control panel. It's really a nice piece of software, and if you've ever played with it, you know what it looks like. And all the pictures and the planetarium program are beautiful. They did a really good job doing it. So
I've watched people use it, and it looks complicated, but then when people watch me using Sequence Generator Pro, which I still use, they think it's really complicated, and I'm so used to it. I'm just like, this isn't complicated. I know how this all works, but that's how it goes. It takes years to learn something sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, I
haven't come over to the dark side with Nina yet, huh?
No, still on SGP.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with SGP. Dan got me hooked on SGP, and then all of a sudden Nina showed up, and I think Dan was like, "Nah, I'm going to Nina." Yeah, and I didn't even renew SGP. I just went straight to Nina, and I never looked back. But I never had a problem with SGP. It's a great program. It works great. But,
no, it's awesome. I love the program, and for whatever reason, I think it was just for the only reason I really switched was because it was something new at the time or newer. So I kind of went to the next shiny thing, and I went to that because I kind of knew SGP pretty good, and then I said, all right, well, I could talk about this. Let me talk about Nina, because I have no idea about Nina, so let me learn it. I'm some of these guys with the advanced sequencer and Nina are just crazy. They're writing they're writing so many different scripts and all this. I'm not that guy. I'll take the scripts that you write and throw it in mine. But it's the advanced sequencer could get so advanced. It's kind of scary. But once you get it running, it's kind of like Sequence Generator Pro. You set it and forget it. You hit the button and run. That's it.
Yeah, there's some plugins in Nina that I've been tempted to make the move for, like the Hocus Focus stuff where it can analyze tilt and back focus and do all those different things. I am tempted to look into that. So far for that kind of stuff, I've been using ASTAP's tilt analyzer, which I works for me. It's pretty like self-explanatory what it's showing. So
I'm annoyed that they got rid of CCD Inspector.
Oh yeah,
I loved that. I bought that program. I loved it. I used it for many years. That 3D graphical interface of the tilt, and it just was but you could get really, we could talk about this. So you could get really stuck in the weeds, right, with this stuff, and with tilt and all this kind of stuff, and people like, I want to get down to, it's like the PhD2 graph, right? You can get stuck in the weeds on that. And you're just sitting there, I got to get, 0.25, that's horrible. Oh my God. And meanwhile, people will just obsess about the numbers and not really looking at the results that you get from the picture. And take it from there. What do you think about getting too involved with overanalyzing the numbers?
The paralysis of analysis.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that if that, I guess sort of I try not to like be too prescriptive, because I know that some people enjoy the tinkering so much, and that's what they really like about the hobby. So it's not me, but I totally get how for some people it's just like they can't help it. They need to really know, like, I'm getting the most out of my equipment, and if you're having fun, good. If it's stressing you out, try to take a breather and realize it's just a hobby, and you don't have to just like get all rip your hair out about it. So.
who else deals with stuff like that are gearheads. Us gearheads, we try to squeeze a few extra horsepower out of that engine, just a few more foot-pounds of torque, just a little bit more. We can get you put it on the dyno again, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You can obsess on it real easy. But it is interesting. I've had people asking me on my channel. They're talking about how tilt works with collimation, and how collimation, if your tilt isn't right, your collimate, you can't really collimate right on, and so you have to kind of balance those two out. And so we've gone back and forth on some of that. But yeah, I tell people all the time, if you can get it to 0.5% on your tilt, you're fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it.
No.
Yeah.
You can get it 5%, you're fine. Just go ahead and collimate at that point. That's why I was so intrigued with that thing that Joe was talking about. That automatic tilt. Or not automatic, the manual tilt thing that you had.
The manual tilt adjuster, yeah.
Oh, that thing was really good. It was only what? I think you said it was like $350, something like that.
Well, it was $300 plus the adapters, so it's about $4. But
and it comes with a program.
So it's basically half of what you're paying for the Wanderer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you can use it for all your
camera
cameras.
to camera to camera.
Yeah. You can do it for
unlike Wanderer, where it's dedicated.
Yeah, maybe I'll get that one too and do a video comparing the two methods and see how fast I can get with each method or whatever.
There you go.
There you go. And then you can put them in there, and you maybe using ASTAP or something like that, you know, and just take a shot and then just end up seeing, you know, what the tilt is between the two of them and see how they both compare. That would be kind of interesting if you do end up doing that. That would be when I would be willing. I'll be definitely watching.
Well, you know, the thing that hooked me with what Joe was talking about was how fast he was able to get that tilt, because anybody that's messed with a tilt plate adapter knows that you can get, like Dan said, you can get into the weeds really freaking fast.
Ooh.
You can, you know, you think, oh, I'll get this done in 20 minutes. 4 hours later,
You blow an entire
You know?
night. You would blow an entire night working on something like
Oh,
that.
it's
That's what
insane.
The crazy thing is about it. That's what's insane, is because even if you have, you know, even with Nina and, you know, Aberration Inspector and everything and Hocus Focus, you sometimes it's you have to really keep track. Okay, which screw, you know, did I push or pull, and how does that correlate with what you're seeing on the screen? Because what you see on the screen,
It's
as far as your
backwards from-
sensor and everything, it's all backwards. You just don't know. He's like, which is which? And then all of a sudden, yeah, you're in the weeds and you're going back, and yeah, all of a sudden you've lost an entire night trying to do this, and it gets frustrating. So having that tool where you can adjust this and you can do it inside with your PC, and you can just follow these you know, some simple steps. It looks interesting. It does. The concept looks really cool, you know. So it may not be. It's not a bad thought, you know. Maybe invest in it. You just to see how it all goes.
I've thought about this other video, sort of related, not exactly, but I have all the polar alignment devices. You know, I have like the Polemaster, the Ioptron one, SharpCap Pro, and so I've been thinking for a long time how to do like a comparison of polar alignment. And my issue that I keep coming back to is like, how do I measure it super accurately to know that the difference between the different devices? And it's really hard. I don't know, like, because even something like drift alignment, which is considered the gold standard, is something that the user is doing to try to like get it as good as possible. So I don't know. And I know that PhD has that little like polar alignment error number. But I don't know how much to trust that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Only measuring polar alignment error, or is it measuring something else? So I was
Well,
thinking about
the
that
thing
video.
is, if you're watching your graph and you don't see a lot of,
you got to turn his
deck
volume up. He's
adjustments.
whispering.
Yeah, we have to turn his.
If you don't see a lot of deck adjustments in your guided graph, then you know your polar alignment's usually pretty dead on. It's when you see that deck adjusting all the time, that usually means you're polar.
Yeah, and I guess that's another sort of issue I've had with the video, is like, I can get, with any of those methods, I can get it so that deck just doesn't move at all. So then it's like,
if it does,
basically with
rare.
the end result of the video be like, use any of these polar alignment methods, it doesn't matter.
Pretty much.
It's not easy to establish a baseline.
Yeah, well, you think about it, because you can using the Polemaster, which is a different chip. God forbid that the molding on your mount where it's sitting on is just off by a millimeter, and then you got SharpCap, which is based on another camera on another scope. You know, that's something else, and then you got you know, the iPolar, which is a different type of camera from the Polemaster. It's tough to do apples to apples when you're doing that. I guess the bottom line is just do your routine, and whatever works for you works for you. I mean, you know, I've been using SharpCap for years, and I buy it every year and I renew it every year for only its polar alignment routine. That's the only thing I use it for. And it's been working great for me. And you know, and from what I hear, it's what they use at SFRO as well, as far as getting the mounts done over there, and it's been pretty darn good. I mean, I haven't had a problem with it. I had when when the Polemaster came out, what, 10 years ago, whatever, how long ago it came out, I was like, why did it take so long for somebody to figure this out? We've had cameras for years. We knew how to polar align. We knew how to do everything. Why did it take so long? And once that came out, I'm sure you guys remember, or at least some of you do, on when you were doing polar alignment with like a Schmidt, when you had your neck craned underneath the scope and you're breaking your neck trying to do this. You didn't have to do this anymore. And that was a game changer for me. A polar alignment routine using a camera was amazing to me. So I was like one of the first ones in my astronomy group to have the Polemaster. I got it.
The Polemaster used to work with SharpCap too.
It still does.
And
it still
does.
Sure?
Yeah.
Last time I tried,
I use it.
It didn't seem to support it.
No, it still does.
Nope.
It's a QH-Y cam.
It still uses it.
Yeah. The one thing I found with the Polemaster is it's very particular about power over USB. So I always have it connected to a powered hub.
Yep.
Because sometimes when you connect it straight to the laptop, that USB port on the laptop doesn't supply enough power for it to run well, and it will freeze up and stuff. But if it gets enough power, then it works great.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that annoyed me with the Polemaster was how many times do I have to click Polaris? I don't understand. Click Polaris. Now click another star that is not Polaris. Now click Polaris again. And and put these circles around the stars and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? It was amazing and it worked. And once you knew the routine, you were done in like 2 minutes. It was like really, really kind of cool. And then once I realized that SharpCap I didn't need to buy another camera and another wire. Got rid of the Polemaster. I used my guide cam for a polar alignment routine and off to the races.
Yeah.
But it's something I find interesting about ASI Air is it has that polar alignment routine and it uses the main scope
camera
typically. And and I because I always thought, because with SharpCap it always tells you use like a fairly wide, like a guide scope, and it works better that way or something. But with the ASI Air routine, you can use I've used like a telescope that's like 1,000 millimeter focal length and it still works. So I thought that's interesting. Yeah,
and you can only assume that you're getting a better polar alignment result if you're using your higher focal length. So I mean, you think about it that way, it does make sense. But you know what, when you're dealing with smaller focal length stuff, how accurate do you really need to be?
Well, with the 14, if I'm using the Hyperstar, I use the main camera for SharpCap on the Hyperstar. But if I'm at the back of the scope, I use the guide camera because at 27, 37 millimeter, it's just a little too long for that. So
But are you using that through the OAG though?
No, not
it's on
SharpCap.
You're using
I've got the William Optics Guide Star up on the top, and I'll use that for guiding when I'm using the Hyperstar, but I polar align through the main camera through the Hyperstar. And it has never failed me. It works like a charm. And I regularly, I mean, depending on seeing and clouds and this and that, and high clouds and such. But if I get a clear night, my numbers float right around 0.4, 0.3 regularly. So,
well, this is making me think of how I could do the video. I could really just sort of focus on how to get the best out of each of these polar alignment methods, maybe, because I know SharpCap advises some focal length range, but I could actually test it along those parameters and see, what actually works best. That could be interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, because the Guide Star is what? It's 360 millimeter, Eric. I think that's what it is.
360. Yes.
360, and then the Hyperstar is 720. So the 720, Nico, works. It works fine at 720. No problem at all.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right on target. I think that would be a great comparison.
Yeah, because I even believe when I was using my ASIR, I haven't used it I haven't used these things in years, especially since I switched over to Nina.
Wow, I never.
I got two of them sitting right here.
And now they're paperweights.
They're just, yeah, honestly, they are. They're just cute little red paperweights. But anyway, I was with my Edge 8 with the reducer because I'm about 1420 as far as 1420 millimeters focal length. I could polar align right off, using the ASIR, and it would plate solve and it would do everything right off of the main camera, and at that focal length, and still not have an issue. So, so I would be very curious, even just to try. I haven't even tried it to try with the main camera with sharp cap, for example, at that 1400 millimeter focal length, and see how much better, even because I would get compared to with using the guide star at 360 millimeter. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been using Nina 3-point polar alignment, and it works pretty good.
What focal length with the
with
your carbon
both
star?
the carbon star and right now I have the GT81, but I use it also with the PS127.
Yeah, so you're 600 and like
and
920.
950.
Yeah, 950.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shouldn't have any problem at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no, give it a shot with that longer focal length. I'm looking forward to giving that a try.
Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes left in the show. Do you want me to show the image of the week entries for this week?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just cue it up here really quick.
Is there anything that we've missed that you wanted to talk on, Nico, before?
Yeah. Sorry.
off?
Yeah, for sure.
Just
No.
anything on your heart?
No, didn't come on with any particular agenda
Just
or plan. So yeah,
That's
just hanging.
cool.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, man.
No,
That's what we
get
do.
Hang out with it.
That's
That's
what
what
we
we
do.
do, exactly.
Yep.
So let me go to quick play here. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, all right, so we have for our image of the week this week. Again, congrats to our latest wintertime Peter from August 15th for his tulip SHO blend, which was really cool. I just love that shockwave.
Yeah, the X1 shockwave.
Yeah, I just love it. It's just crazy cool. All right, so for August 29th image of the week, the poll is open. Unfortunately, we did not have any novice entries. We did have our experience. We had 4 entries for the experience bracket.
Wow, okay.
So our first up is the Sagittarius Star Cloud by Benito.
That's sweet.
It is. And, Sagittarius, that's just so much nebula, so much stuff in there you can go and get. I mean, heck, here you got M20 and M8 just right over there. So, and I think, is this M7 over here? I believe it's M7 over this way. So, yeah, I mean, you've got a lot in that star cloud. We have NGC 7000 in North America Nebula with the Cygnus Wall here by Mark using his 80mm in Poseidon.
That's sweet too.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah. We've got M16 here by Keith, this with his Sea Star. He's getting some really good shots out of that Sea Star. It's impressive what you can grab, and then he's processing this out of Cyril and with Graxford. So
nice.
And these were all 10-second shots and some 20-second shots. And last but not least, we have another tulip. This one by Thomas Duff. He
Sweet.
took earlier this month with his Stellar View 130. So don't forget to go to the website, astroworldweb.com/IOTW, and go ahead and start voting, and we'll make the announcement on Friday.
Awesome.
Good luck, every guys. All right.
How much data was on that tulip, or that not tulip, the sea star image?
The sea star image.
Yeah, how much data?
It wasn't a lot. Let's see here.
Pretty impressive what people are getting with the smart telescopes.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, no, it is. It's really impressive what they're getting at with these smart telescopes, because with that shot, for example, with the sea star, it was 161 10-second shots and 466 20-second shots.
Okay.
So let's add all that up, and you can figure
Bro,
it's only a couple hours.
2.5 plus.
Yeah, a couple hours.
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, 466 times 20, and then 161 times 10. In
Nice.
10 seconds, and divided by 3600. There you go.
That's too much math this late. Sorry.
I know, right? I'm not.
Now, is he using is there some kind of dual band filter he can use with that, or is he? He's
using a light pollution. He is using the light pollution filter with it, but I do believe you can. They
have a dual band. I
can
think
get a dual band for the Sea Star. I don't know if it comes with it.
Like the dwarf does
in the initial purchase, but maybe it's a separate purchase.
I think the one built in they call the light pollution filter. It's basically a dual band with fairly wide band passes. Like I think it's something like 30 and 20 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want tighter band passes, though, they make little adapters so you can put any dual narrowband filter just right on the front. You just push it in to the Sea Star.
Oh, there you go.
And then just use no filter in the app, but then you're using a filter on the front. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They need to come up with some kind of an adapter for an HA filter for the dwarf 3, so you can get some of that, the prominences, on the sun.
Oh yeah.
You mean like for
actual hydrogen prominence
for the sun?
Solar.
Yeah,
solar. Yeah, for solar itself.
That's a different.
I know it has the white filter, but if you wanted to get that HA, that would be pretty expensive, don't you think?
I would think
it wouldn't be cheap. It would not be cheap.
I think I saw a sort of DIY project for a smart solar telescope out of France. I think the same team that does like SolX and StarX, they were coming up with something where it was a full smart telescope you control with your phone, but it does complete solar photography. So I bet that's on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this video about this that makes it the SHG700. It's like for solar, and it splits the light into like all the different bands and everything. It's pretty amazing, and how it totally just takes like a slither, and it works its way down until you get the full disc and put it together, and it's unbelievable because it does every spectrum of light that comes through. It's pretty.
Yeah, I've been testing it
as well.
You've been testing it, Nico?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I think it can do it. I think the little dial thing goes from calcium K on the blue violet end to a little bit past the H alpha line. So I'm not sure about true infrared, but and then anything in between. Yeah, and it's a really nice piece of gear.
Yeah, and the results that the person got, it was unbelievable. It was like, holy cow, unbelievable. The prominences and everything on the surface were so clear.
It's for full disc, and I guess the one thing you can't really do is the more sort of high speed kind of time lapse. You could do a time lapse, but each picture you're taking takes like 30 seconds or something to scan the sun. So it would be sort of a slower speed time lapse. But I think you could do it.
Okay.
But you know, when you see those sort of like through the solar scope, and they're showing like a more high frame rate kind of thing with the prominences. I guess that's the one advantage still of a dedicated solar scope.
Yeah. Now, have you done any solar imaging like with dedicated scopes yourself there, Nico? Like Heliostar?
No, I mean, I've
No?
just seen other people do it at star parties and stuff, but it's not a huge interest of mine. From what I understand, the best like time of day is the morning. That's usually when there's like sort of the best seeing, and I'm never up in the morning, so I don't know.
You're not a morning person.
Astronomers and vampires.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
That's great. You know, that's something that, you know, it's something that's always interested me in doing solar. But you know, to your point, I mean, I still have to work during the day too. So I mean, like it's like I work during the day. By the time I get home, I'm time to eat dinner, and then it's nighttime. It's nighttime. So I mean, so I just sit there and do nighttime stuff. I would love to do now, if I had the roll-off roof observatory with the solar scope set up, well, then I could image from work, you know. So, you know, so I might be able to do that, you know, as long as the etalon doesn't need to be changed, I'll be fine, you know. So,
Nice.
Well, okay. I know we're at 9:30 here.
Yep.
So again, you know, Nico, sorry I was late, but thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. It's always a blast, you know, having you on and catching up with you and seeing what you're up to. And looking forward to your next videos. Is there any video or anything coming out in the near future that we should be getting ready for on Nebula Photos?
I think Friday I'll have a video coming out comparing the new ASCAR 91F compared to the William Optics Red Cat 91 and an Airy Disc 96. So all sort of like 3.5-inch appos, and yeah, it was a good video. They all produced nice results. I'd to spoil it a little bit, I'd say any of those scopes you're gonna be happy with if you're looking for an apo of that size. But they're different in focal ratio, and that's really what I think determines the price. You know, the William Optics is an f4.9, while the new ASCAR is an f6.8, and so to sort of perfect a field when you get to that bigger field of view, it's a little bit more difficult. So yeah, so it was a good test. I like doing those sort of shootouts of different refractors, and it's nice that I can have a telescope sent and then I can send them back, and I don't have to hold on to them.
Absolutely.
Did you say you did an Airy Disc one too, or?
Yeah, Airy Disc 96 triplet.
Yeah, how was that one? You like that one, or?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's very nice color correction. It's the only one of those three that lists their glass type. They're using an FCD 100 for the ED element. The other two companies don't list it, but it came out really well. And they have a nice Fladner reducer for it that is adjustable. Works on any of their triplets.
Sweet,
nice.
And where can folks find you? You know, on YouTube and Discord or any other spot. You know, where can they find you?
So, on most of them, it's just whatever the platform is, and then /Nebula Photos. I didn't get that on Instagram or Facebook. So on those two platforms, it's nebulaphotos.com. But everywhere else, it's just Nebula Photos.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, again, Nico, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, man.
it's always a blast. You're always more than welcome to hang out whenever you want.
Yeah, anytime, brother.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
You're
you'll
a
get an
wealth-
email
you're
in a
a
couple of
absolute
months
wealth of
regarding
knowledge.
Astrapalooza. So
Yeah.
got to start building that guest list for that nightmare 10-hour day.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
It should be fun.
Oh yeah.
Scott, Mr. Cole, any final thoughts?
No, it just, it's important that everybody gets out, and it doesn't matter if you've got a $300 telescope or a $30,000 telescope. Get out and take advantage of those clear skies. Because they're precious when you can get them. So get out, keep looking up.
All right, Super Dave, anything?
I mean, Nico, thanks for coming on. Always good to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Always good to watch your videos and your comparisons and everything like that. Other than that, yeah, keep your eyes up to the skies, and hopefully no clouds are around. So keep gathering those photons.
All right, Dan, you're last man up.
I'm the last man up. I'm always the last man up. That's fine. Nah, Nico, again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, man. You've been on like 3 or 4 times at this point, and you know how we do things. It's nice to have you on. It's a shame when we're both not going to make Black Forest this year. It looks like, but hopefully we could catch up again for Astrapalooza, and then NEF 26 is right around the corner. So I mean, it's 6 months away. 6 months away now.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Time flies, man. Time flies when you're having fun,
This is
right?
crazy. It looks like AstroWorld might be getting 3 booths this year.
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
Keep expanding.
It started with
growing,
one.
dude. It's nuts.
Oh, it's
yeah.
not
It started
fair.
with one.
It's coming.
You say it's 6 months away?
6 months. Yeah.
When are they doing
8
it
months?
this
Yeah,
year?
like
8 months.
Like
8
April.
months.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
right?
No,
Like 8
I
months?
was going to
Okay.
say
8
6
months.
months.
We got a little time. We got a little time then. But again, thanks you again, Nico. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up or hit that like button on the video. And if you see us on replay, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. We would really, really appreciate it.
Or leave a comment.
And yeah, we'll leave a comment or anything like that. But until next time, Friday, don't forget to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we will see you guys real soon. Take care.
Thanks, Nico.
See ya.
Great show, guys.
Tedeschi trucks. So
Absolutely.